Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Mastery with Spencer. Super excited. I've got my very favorite guest in the whole wide world on today. I know I've said that I like a lot of my guests, and they might have been my favorite guest that has been on the phone thus far, but today I promise you that this is my very, very favorite guest. Not only my favorite guest, but next to one other person, my very favorite person in the whole wide world. So without further ado, Mom, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. So my mom has a birthday tradition. You guys did not actually get to hear, but what's that tradition? What do you do every birthday for me, Mom?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
All right. So what's that?
I always call you on your birthday.
Yeah, you always call me on my birthday and I get that awesome song, and I always look forward to that song every single year. And I don't know if you guys were lucky enough to be born and raised with a mother that has an angel singing voice. And Mom, you have a beautiful voice. Thank you for always singing that song to me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's a tradition that was passed down, actually, from my parents.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good. I'm glad. I might need to work on my voice to continue to pass that tradition down on.
No, any loving voice will work.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Well, that's cool. So, let's just, I had a funny text message from a friend this morning. He said, happy birthday, you're 44. Basically, congratulations, you're halfway there. So that's kind of a funny, he said, happy B-Day, my friend, 44 down, 44 to go.
Well, he put a limit on your lifetime.
Yeah, he did. So it looks like he's prophesying I'm going to live till I'm 88, so I'm halfway there. So how does it feel to have a son that's halfway done with his life?
As far as I'm concerned, you're just beginning.
Just beginning.
Having been at 44, you're just beginning life.
Well, that's good. Thank you. So take me back to February 8th. Where was I born, and what were some of the memories that you had that day of February 8th? Were we in a hot place, cold place? What was going on?
We were in Snowflake, Arizona. It was a chilly day, but there was no snow on the ground. I do remember that you were 18 days late from your birth due date. Woo! And I was determined that I was going to have you that day, so I walked from our house on the south end of Snowflake, and I walked clear to the highway on the north end of Snowflake and back.
Wow.
Because somebody told me if I walked, that would help to start contractions.
Wow.
And so I had done that day. And then that evening, your father and I had gone to the Longhorn Steakhouse for dinner. And my contractions had started, and I did not want to go to the hospital because with your older sister, I was there like a day and a half before she was born, so I figured I had plenty of time, and I would rather hang around at home. And we went to your grandparent Caldwell's home after dinner, I think to let your grandma Dixie know that we needed her help because my parents were living out in Missouri at the time.
Yeah.
And she said it would probably be a good idea to go to the hospital. And so while I was at their home, I called your grandparent Peterson in Missouri and told them what was happening. And they said, well, we'll pray for you. But I dragged my feet. I went home, and I decided to clean house a little bit, straighten things up.
Yeah.
I remember wanting to take a shower, and I took a shower. And then we decided we should go to the hospital. We drove the 20 miles at plus up to the hospital in Shiloh. I think, what's it called now? I don't know. It was Navapache at the time.
Right.
And
that's what it says on my birth certificate, Navapache, so I think you're right.
And we walked in, told them I was in labor, and they wheeled me into a birthing room, and you were born 20 minutes later. 21 minutes later.
Wow.
From the time of admission to the time of your birth. 21 minutes.
Wow.
So I guess it's good I didn't dilly-dally any longer.
I think so. I'm lucky I didn't have you in my car. I don't know what Dad would have done if I was starting to be born in the car. He would have freaked out.
Probably. He probably would have driven faster that day.
Yes. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I actually didn't know a lot of that story, so thanks for sharing that with me.
Yeah, there was snow on the ground. It wasn't snowing at the time, but there was snow. I remember there was snow around the hospital that night.
Yeah.
Around pushed up snow and that had been cleared from the parking lots.
Yes.
It's been sitting there probably for a few days.
Yes. Okay. Well, it sounds like we've got a bunch of snow up there the last 24 hours, and there's more coming. So.
And the other thing I remember, you were born with an opinion. You were mad about it. and that was the biggest little mouth on a baby just being born that I'd ever seen with a scream.
Yeah.
And then they cleaned you up, took you away, and after I held you on my chest for a minute, and then they brought you to me in my room. What time were you born? It was 11 something, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. 11 in the after
evening.
In the morning?
Nope.
You 11 in the evening. Wow.
Night, yeah. They brought you in and told me I needed to feed you. And you were sound asleep. And so I just held you. And for 3 days, they kept bringing you to me because they wouldn't let me go home till you ate. and all you wanted to do was sleep. And you slept for 3 days.
Woo!
You were so tired.
I need to catch up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Wow, thanks for sharing that with me. So, when you were walking, wait, how heavy was I when I was born? That's kind of a fun one to share.
Oh yes, you were 10 pounds 13 ounces.
10 pounds 13 ounces.
You wouldn't know it today.
What? Yeah, you wouldn't know it. No, no, you wouldn't know it. I'm fighting that. That's pretty cool. So, when you were walking, you spent a lot of time walking that day before I was born. How many miles did you think that was?
I don't know. It's to the highway there.
Yeah.
And the north end from our house. I'm not sure. What do you think What do you think that is? 6 miles, 5.5, 6 miles.
Geez.
Or less.
Did anyone stop by and say, "What the heck? What are you doing?"
No.
No one stopped by and said, because you had to have a pretty darn big belly. 10 pounds something ounces. You could probably put a plate on it. No one stopped and said, "You want to ride?"
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. They could have.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that.
Wow.
I was bound and determined to get you here. I'd been carrying you for too long. I was tired. As far as your weight, Dr. Garver delivered you, and he teased me and said you had a 3-month-old baby.
That's funny. That's pretty funny. Didn't I get like sprinkled, like Catholic or didn't
yes.
I get sprinkled?
Yes. Dr. Garver always blessed his babies, even though he wasn't a priest. He was a good Catholic, and he always felt like he needed to bless his babies, give them a little blessing. I'm not aware that he had holy water. I think that's your dad's story.
Okay.
But he always did a little crossover.
A little prayer or something.
A little Father, Son, and Holy Ghost cross over the babies to be sure that they were blessed. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Cute. It was cute that he cared enough.
Yeah, it's cool. He just thought about that, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, good. We've only got a few minutes. I only give myself 15 minutes this morning for this call every single day, Monday through Friday, by the way. We've got people on the line that listen, and then we've got, I record it and then I post it later to YouTube for reference. Is there anything else that you would like to share about me? I mean, was I a total punk teenager kid? Hard, terrible twos, and any other fun memories you wanted to share before we part ways?
Well, you were a child that would not be stopped. When you decided you were going to do something, you did it. We had bought you a bike, and you were riding a bike with training wheels on it at 2 years of age. And before you were 3, you had taken the training wheels off yourself. You decided you didn't need those, and you were going to ride that bike without those training wheels, and you did fine. You rode that bike without those training wheels. I remember if you wanted something, you went after it. There was no skating parks, but you wanted a skateboard ramp, and you and your buddy made sure you got one of those built. I remember the day, you probably remember this day too, but I don't remember quite how old you were. I'm thinking you were about, I don't know, 7. You came running in the house and said, "I've been shot." Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember how old you were?
We moved from Snuffling when I was 14, so I would have to say, if I had like a wild guess, it'd be maybe like 10 or 11.
Okay. All right. You came running in the house, "I'd been shot," and I was like, "What?" I was all in a panic, and sure enough, there was something lodged in your hand. And do you want to tell that story? What happened?
Yeah, let's do it. So basically, I was over at a friend's house, and I was just hanging out in the yard with one friend, like not even close to the other friend. The other friend was, 10 feet plus far away. And, we lived in the city. No, excuse me. We lived in, country town, Snowflake, Arizona. And there's not even a hospital. Like Mom said, I drove to, how many minutes away to be born. So we're just hanging out, having fun in the yard. And all of a sudden I hear the loudest bang ever. And, I get shot in the finger, and it lodges into my finger with a hole just through the top layer of the skin and kind of sticks in my upper knuckle bone. And in fact, I still have like an indentation in that knuckle bone in my finger. And my friend who I was with had a little brother, and he thought it was a super smart idea to dissect a shotgun bullet. And so luckily he had taken all the BBs out of this bullet already, or else it would have been a bloody mess on him and everyone else around. So he took the BBs out of the shotgun bullet and dumped them out. And then he had a flat blade screwdriver, and he was prying at the primer of this bullet. And, it still had the gunpowder wad in this bullet. and it ignited because he was pushing on the primer, and the primer decided to come my way and shoot me right in the finger. And thank goodness it wasn't in the eye or the heart or lung or head. It would have got me good, but and the way it went in, it skimmed it in my finger. I still have the hole where they cut it out and where it shot me, and it went kind of stuck in the top knuckle bone. So it traveled underneath my skin, about an inch to the knuckle bone. And then the doctor cut a slit and got tweezers and just kind of grabbed it and twisted it and got it out. I used to have that primer. I wish I still had it. So, yeah, that was a crazy, crazy moment. In my book, Pig Farm Boy, I share some of these stories of growing up, and I felt like I was kind of like a cat with nine lives, just because we lived wild and free in the country. And honestly, I will argue with anyone whatsoever that I had the best childhood growing up in the country. I feel like we're raising our kids in the city in chicken coops, and they're cooped up compared to how free I lived. And for that, Mama, thank you for being raised in the country. I just absolutely loved it. Tell me about the time that and I'm not poking fun or whatsoever, but tell me about the time you ran me over.
Oh, Spencer, for some reason, had a habit as a small child. This was in his 4th and 5th year. He loved opening doors of the vehicles. As in those days, no seatbelts were required. We didn't think about it, and there weren't automatic locks on the vehicle doors to keep children inside. So he'd be just riding down the street, and I guess it looked fun to him to open the door and jump out of moving vehicles. He did it to me, and he also did it to his dad.
Yep, I did. There's no doubt.
When he did it to me, thank goodness I wasn't moving at very high speed. I was just leaving the grocery store, and he decided to open the door and jump out, and sure enough, I ran over his legs with my back wheel, and it was all in a panic about that, but he wasn't. He got up and seemed fine.
Yeah, no, I was good. I think you were in your Chrysler Cordoba, right?
Yes, or the Lincoln. I think it was the Lincoln.
Oh, okay. So, we were in the parking lot of Ed's.
Yeah.
Grocery store is what I remember, right? So
what were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking. That's the best thing. I have no clue. I was getting my suicidal actions and thoughts out of my mind at a young age, playing with handles. So basically, when I plopped out of the car, I actually kind of remember it running over my kind of torso and arm, and I had like tire marks on my arm and torso, and you felt like maybe my arm could have been broken or twisted. So we did go to the doctor, and he gave me a sling, but I remember wearing it on the way home, and I took it off, and I was fine. I don't remember any type of injury or anything whatsoever.
No, you didn't have any injury. Maybe your dad got your legs.
Yeah. No, I remember specifically with Dad that story too, because I was with Dad several times. The fun stories happened, and we're actually pretty close to the same parking lot, going around the corner, and it was on a corner, and I had the momentum kind of pushed me away from the truck, and I got a big strawberry right on my butt.
Oh.
So no.
One of my favorite stories. I don't know who your audience is, so you can stop the story if you want. Is when you went to the doctor for your junior high football physical.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes.
It was a great story.
Yeah.
We took him for that physical, and I was waiting in the waiting room, and pretty soon the doctor comes out and pokes his head around and motions to me to come. So I come into the room, and he says, "You've taught your son well, but I need you to tell him it's okay." Spencer was taught well. He had strong character, and he stopped that man from touching him inappropriately.
Yeah, he told me to drop my drawers, and I said, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, well, if you want to play football, you got to. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not pulling down my pants. I don't know if you prepped me, maybe you did, but I just wasn't going to be in a room with a grown man pulling down my pants. And
No, yeah, I did not prep you. I'm sorry.
no,
but,
I didn't know what that was
but I
about.
had taught you right about not dropping your drawers.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, shoot, we can reminisce for many more hours, but I got to get to work.
Well, have a very happy birthday, son. I love you.
Mom, I love you too. This is why I didn't videotape this one, guys. It's just recording. A little emotional. I got the best mom in the world, and I'm lucky to see Mom on my phone when she calls, and when I call her, I'm glad you're still with us and a part of my life. I love you.
I love you too. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, guys. Hey, have a great day. We'll see you. Bye.